Hello guys, so we are working our way in trial of Sekhemas farming, and next up we have the mid-level farming. I'm guessing 4 videos for this will be unnecessary. You could argue that all of it was unnecessary maybe, but as I said, I am trying to impart my method to you foolproof way. So in the paupers farming method, we were using like a few tablets with under resistance and some tablets with 19 or 20% increased quantity of relics. And now, so we are going to make some improvements. I would define the mid-level farming as as characters that are actually able to kill the boss using the Desperate Alliance, right, in order to get our hands on against the darkness. So I would say at the that would also have tiers in between it in it as well. So my idea would be to use a few relics like this at the beginning, right? So the way that you transition into this is you do the paupers farming, you get yourselves a little bit of currency in the form of waste relics and maybe some regular relics, right? Obviously, use the ones that are upgrades for you, right? And then if you are feeling like you are easily killing the boss, even if the run did go a little bit bad, and I'm talking about stuff that hinders your damage capacity, right? Lowers your damage, uh, increase the monster's HP, that sort of thing. So there are three modifiers like that. Uh, the 20% damage reducing curse, the 40% damage reducing affliction. So there is an affliction that curses you to deal 20% less damage, and there is another that increases the monster's HP by 50%. If you are easily killing the boss with like 2 out of 3 of these, while having nothing that increase your damage output by either increasing your damage or lowering the monster's HP, there are two boons that do that. Then I guess you can transition, but going the full professional upscale farming way would be I might be a little bit too much. So I guess you can start with 1 or 2 honor resistance relics. I would say that 1 should be fine at that point, but go for 2 and then you can reduce it, because you do not have to do all the transition at once. Imagine you are playing with 75% on resistance and all of a sudden you go down to like 40%. The under damage that would be incoming is going to be a lot, right? You are receiving 25% and then you are going to receive like 60%. So yeah, the damage so the under damage would be increasing by 130%, which is going to be a lot, right? So you might not be able to adapt to that. Maybe keep the but always keep an eye on it, right? If it's going very safe, right, multiple runs in a row, including bad ones, then definitely drop one of the under resistance things in favor for relic quantity. And also at this point you can start picking up a little bit of less items, because picking up a lot of items reduces your downtime a lot. Definitely do not pick any rares that are not tiered. I would suggest keep sticking to tier 3 or higher rares, and I would suggest not picking up any weapons at all, right, when they drop. Uh, you could also let go of the 1x3 and 3x1 relics at this point, I would say. And for and tapestry, just let go of them, because they have to be really right in order to be worth some money, right? But the 1x2 and 2x1 ones, right, they could be movement speed and increased quantity of relics drop, so they can be really valuable, all the way up to like 25 divine for 10 to 20 perfect ones. Let me just show you quickly. 26 divine already, right? And there are only 3 for sale. These are pretty rare and very valuable. So yeah, and at this point, if you get one of these, I would suggest selling them in order to get stronger, because what we want is, guys, we want to be able to handle the last boss even if the run goes terribly wrong, right? Early in the run, you get rewards unknown, right? You get weird rewards, and you get a lot of damage penalty, you still want to be able to handle the boss, right? We definitely don't want to spend, half an hour and fail at the boss and lose 3 divines and the half an hour. The frustration would be too huge. We don't want to fail any against the darkness runs. What else? I would, as I said, again suggest picking up the 1x2 and 2x1 relics, and depending on how you feel about it, you could also let go of using the reforging bench on them, because that also takes time, right? You take a lot of artifacts, you dump them in your stash, then when the time comes, the stash tab becomes full, you identify them, you evaluate them, and you do 3-4-1, right, at the reforging bench. That is also time consuming. You could let the thing go. And also, obviously, when you are taking a look at your relics, definitely use a perfect orb of augmentation instead of a regular one, so you can hit the higher tiers, the valuable stuff. So for example, you have something with like 7% movement speed, right? You slap this one on it and you can get only the highest tier of relic drops, which is going to be 16% at minimum. So then you have something that's worth multiple divines in your hand, right? But I mean, if you get like 8% increased quantity of relics, then the value would be maybe like 1 chaos. So definitely use a perfect orb of augmentation. What else? You could also drop the royal caches at the end of the run. And guys, this might be, sounding like too much micromanagement to you, but it does take so much time, because you are going to find a lot of royal caches, right? And they will drop a lot of jewels, and evaluating them takes time, right? First of all, you take a look at them, so then you identify the ones that are worth exalting, right? You then exalted them, then evaluate. Yeah, I mean, so for me, it was like maybe like 20 jewels, maybe I'm exaggerating, like 15 jewels per run, and once every like 10 runs or so I would evaluate them, which would be like 2.5 full inventories worth, right? And that does take a while, and of course you need to be able to process it fast, right? Because if you take a look at every piece of garbage that drops for you, then it's going to cost a long time, right? And I'm not even talking about the exalted, right? I mean, even if you spend like 1 or 2 exalted on every jewel, uh, that's not going to add up too much, right? That's not a problem, right? But of course, it's a cost, right? I mean, 150 jewels and you do 1 exalt on each, that's going to be 150 exalted, right? And you could get stuff there, right? So this will actually be dependent on where you see yourself on the medium farming scale, right? Did you just climb out of the paupers and you are in need of currency, or are you planning on transitioning on the top level of farming, and you are actually better off saving time? So the thing is, guys, normally in the long run saving time is the most valuable thing, but it also depends on how smooth your runs are. So if you take like 30-35 minutes to kill the boss, including handling the loot and whatnot, that's not the same as doing 15 minutes, right? 15 minutes guaranteed, right? So for example, right now, it's almost impossible for me to die. I have not died in. So, and when I say die in Trial of Sekhemas, I don't mean literal dying, right? That's impossible. I'm talking about the honor getting depleted, right? That's what I mean when I say dying. You can't really die. I think I have died like once, but when I want to get my ascension, something like that, right? I have never died afterwards, but of course, I needed to be very careful earlier on, right? I need to pay attention to my afflictions, my boons, and whatnot. Right now, I'm just steamrolling. You just saw the run, and we are going to do another run in which I try to explain the situation. So the 3-4-1 rolling can be let go. The royal caches can be let go. Do not pay attention to the keys too much, right? The only important thing is you get like maybe 1 or 2 silvers, which is not really very important. So the only really important thing is that you get 1 gold key at least, right? I mean, you could have 0, 0, 1 keys, bronze, silver, and gold respectively, and you could be fine, right? Because you don't want to miss out on the spectrum cache if it's there, and everything else is hearsay, but you would be getting some. Bronze, you could not even pick up from the ground. And as I said in the earlier videos before, you never pick up relics that occupy 4 spaces, except for the obvious unique ones, right? The valuable ones, because they are worthless, right? I mean, the perfect cover relic, I don't even know what the perfect cover relic is, right? They are not even 1 exalted verse. They are absolutely worthless. And the boss drops, uh, I know, of course, it feels like you have worked for it, but the thing is, anything other than vase and incense is worthless. Don't even pick them up. They are not worth 1 exalted. The unique ones, yeah. In case you are the urn, the seal, the amphora, the tapestry, all of them are worthless. Not 1 exalted is worth. Vase is about 3 divine, and incense was like 150 divine last I checked. Should be still extremely valuable. I don't know how much it is worth exactly, but it's a bit of a myth, right? I mean, I'm gonna say that you are going to see like 1 or 2 in your entire Path of Exile 2 career if you keep farming the place constantly, right? Normally you would be seeing 0. I'm guessing its drop rate is about 0.1% or thereabouts, because I have done a lot of displays and I have seen one. And as I said in a previous video, there is a friend of mine that does displays more than I do, and he has seen one as well, right? So maybe 1 in 300. I mean, 0.3%, 0.1%, something thereabouts is right, extremely rare, right? The main money maker is the vase. So the medium level is for farming the boss uh, for against the darkness, right? And don't be shy, as I said, use honor uh, resistance relics, but the end goal is to get rid of the honor resistance relics and do it without any honor resistance, with maximum movement speed and maximum relic quantity drop for more loot. Yeah, that's about it. If you have any questions, feel free to ask. Yeah, and I'm expecting at this point in the season, most people would start off from this tier. The Pauper's tier is just, if you are, if you have just started, right? At this point, you should be in the 10 device neighborhood. So the Pauper's tier is for the few device neighborhood. This is 2-digit device neighborhood, and the high tier would probably be 4 tiers, four digits uh, Divine's neighborhood, maybe high hundreds, low thousands, somewhere there. And yeah, I will see you in the high tier video. Bye bye.